sepelingo kogoniao omanyenga na milengi nakomi lokola jouete komandeko yao bakolo teni katiti kana Olivier Bila Sajari Tembo epasala pasali ngai na basuki motema etomonakabalinga na toboti makopikara pika ngai abeti ngai sete bire ya bacharme na motema na ngai sepota mpona bino bokosela ye nalemba mpona ye nde napona ya papa ya bana ye Brigitte Ngendo Filengano Mama Wiva Star Vivine Lumba
Mandalobaki Molimba na biso eza esika akomi tumisa te po ayebi yeko
Likete kaya e
kasi akamwetangola tisinga batefiase enakomisi mikepesi endeni lobaloba e
Mozembe Sotra Elette Koko Ingonzo Rachel Molamba 100 000 euros Didier Sikaloboko
on mobile and soon on DAB. This is Star Radio UK. Online, on mobile, soon on the station. This is Star Radio UK, the leading Afro-Caribbean radio station in London.
The most dangerous thing that can happen to a human being is to be ignorant.
My first task is to call for unity of all Africans and to do away and bury all those xenophobic or Afrophobic tendencies. Today it is my task to cleanse those blood that was spilled here in Africa.
God loved us so much that he even chose this continent to create what we call the Garden of Eden. I don't know if you know that Jesus Christ once lived in Ethiopia in a place called Abyssinia.
On 7th May, on Roots of Africa program, we will be hosting His Royal Highness King Bhungane III on both Star Radio and Raia TV at the same time, talking about the kings and queens of Africa.
The most dangerous thing that can happen to a human being is to be ignorant.
My first task is to call for unity of all Africans and to do away and bury all those xenophobic or Afrophobic tendencies. Today it is my task to cleanse those blood that was spilled here in Africa.
God loved us so much that he even chose this continent to create what we call the Garden of Eden. I don't know if you know that Jesus Christ once lived in Ethiopia in a place called Abyssinia.
On 7th May, on Roots of Africa program, we will be hosting His Royal Highness King Bhungane III on both Star Radio and Raia TV at the same time, talking about the kings and queens of Africa.
Welcome. Get ready for this. Get ready for this. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready for this. Get ready for this. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Bayete.
Bayete.
Bayete, Your Royal Majesty, King Bhungane III of the Embo Kingdom.
Bayete.
Your Royal Majesty, welcome to Idol's special radio talk this afternoon, this evening or this morning as the place may apply. We are privileged to introduce Your Royal Majesty to all the people of Africa on this continent, but also because of the discussions we are going to hold now, we address all the children of Africa spread all over the surface of the earth, wherever they may be, particularly addressing the children of Africa who live in Latin America, in the Caribbean and North America. But in the same way, Your Majesty, we call upon the children of Africa who are sisters and brothers in Australia, in New Zealand, in Papua New Guinea, in Fiji Islands, and elsewhere. Your Royal Majesty, it is my great honor to invite you to greet all the children of Africa now in your own words.
Bayete mhlobokanonkala uhlabukhangela Bhungane uhlabukhangela makhulukhulu bayete mthimkhulu bayete Rhatebe bayete Bhuqwa bayete Dlomo bayete Bhungane bayete makhulukhulu bayete Sothondose bayete Sigcoba Senkomo bayete
Your Royal Majesty, your words to greet the children of Africa the world over now.
Bayete, I would like to greet my brothers and sisters in the continent and also in the diaspora. Remember, we are one people. As we are going to engage in this discussion, we must unite in spirit and unite in everything so that we achieve our objective. Bayete.
Bayete. Your Royal Majesty King Bhungane III of the Embo Kingdom, I'd like your people to know why you responded so well, so kindly, so spontaneously when Ido brought the news to you of the journey of atonement and reconciliation. Why was this the case, Your Royal Majesty?
Thank you very much. Remember, we as the people of the continent, and especially the people who are representing our people as the royal, it was long overdue. It was long overdue because it is something that we were supposed to have done many years ago, so that we do the right thing in the diaspora, we do the right thing in the whole world. Why? Because our brothers and sisters were taken to slavery more than 400 years ago. So if I was asked to do this task, indeed it was a task that was long overdue to be done by it.
Thank you very much, Your Royal Majesty. Your response, your words are a strong invitation to many in Africa to equally open our hearts to African children and grandchildren who live far away from us today, living far from home. And for this reason, we need to think softly, thinking about our hearts and love for those who are the descendants of the less unfortunate brothers and sisters who perished a long time ago. But today, as we speak, this is not the light that is available to every African on the continent. Some of them may have doubt about standing in honor of our ancestors in the side of good things and standing sorry for things that were not done well. Your Majesty, guide the Africans on the continent on what attitude we need to adopt in going to this mission of reconciliation and atonement, Your Royal Majesty.
What we are to do as the people of the continent that we are to be engaging on this journey, we need first to identify with the Creator. We need to be spiritual first. So if we adopt and we engage on the spiritual level, we would be able to tap into the divine land. Out of that divine land, we would be able to rectify the wrong things that we have done in the past. Because today, we find ourselves carrying a sin as the people of color because we have engaged into a sin. And that sin was about us adopting wrong religions, adopting wrong cultures and traditions. So the Creator then moved away from us. We lost the connection with the Creator. Today, we need to be working on the connection with the divine spirit so that we are able to move forward and go and connect with our brothers and sisters before colonizers arrived. Before we were colonized, we were the chosen people. We were the people that connected with God. And we knew that what is to be done to connect with Him. So it is very important for us today, as I have connected and others that have connected with the Creator, to go and meet our brothers and sisters in the diaspora so that we connect and work together and cleanse the wrong things that we've done in the past. Because God is waiting for us. He wants His children back. Remember, we are the chosen nation. We are the original Hebrews. We are the original inhabitants of this continent, and together in Israel and other countries that we refer as the Arabic countries, these countries were our countries. And we are the first inhabitant in Europe, in the Latin Americans. We did not go there because of slavery. We were there before, but yes, slavery happened. So we need to go and rectify those wrongs and reclaim what belongs to us as the people of color. But we can't do that if we have not connected with the Creator, that is God.
Thank you so much, Your Royal Majesty. In line with your kind words of wisdom to your people, all the African people, I know on discovering the dying desire among the children of Africa in the diaspora, descendants of those who left this continent about 400 years ago, IDO decided to work hand in hand with those people that we met and set up an undertaking to have a pilgrimage consisting of African kings and queens to go in person, in bone and flesh, specifically this time to the Americas, to the Republic of Panama, with the intention of making those people realize that their race is not necessarily a slave race. They should realize that God placed kingdoms on this continent, and we still have our kings and queens. This is the grandeur of Africa. This is why IDO is working day and night, so that in a year and a half, or about a year, African kings and queens, with your Royal Highness among these distinguished sons of the continent and queens, go to embrace, to say a word of love to these people who until now live as rejected human beings. But again, some of our friends in Africa need to be encouraged to think positively in a soft, loving style, and have these descendants of our continent feel they too are human beings. This is going to be a message people would like to hear from you. This journey of atonement, for your Royal Highness, if you had to say the people of Africa and the Africans in the diaspora, what does this journey really mean in the sense of fellow humans living in misery and segregation?
Bayete. This journey, to me, it is a journey that is long overdue. It is a journey that is going to rectify the wrongs of the past, that will rectify the wrong things that they were committed by the other kings who sold our people into slavery. It is a journey that is divine. It is a journey that is going to connect the continent with the diaspora. Specifically, if you remember during the slavery, the place where they would take our people to be dispersed in the other countries, it was Panama. So it is very important for us to start our journey in Panama so that we cleanse the wrong things that happened when our people arrived there. Remember, during that journey, a lot of things happened in those ships. A lot of people occurred cases around that journey. So it is us that must embark onto that particular journey in Panama so that we then cleanse our people and then we establish a chiefdom of our people in Panama, because Panama becomes the very important point for our people. And then what will then happen in Panama? We will make sure that a house of the kings, it is established, so that when we go to other areas, to other countries, at least would have connected with a lot of spirits that were lost. Because remember, our forefathers followed those who were taken. So it is very important that when we go, we must make sure that we start in Panama. And remember, our journey, it is a spiritual journey. Our journey, it is a journey that is going to change the whole discourse in the world. Because for the first time, the people of color would have united under one umbrella. So IDO became the very important body to bring together all the kings and the chiefs, so that they must go and speak to the spirits in Panama for forgiveness. And we cleanse that place that is called Panama. Then we are able to take the same spirit and go along the world and reconnect and rebuild our kingdoms in the whole world. I think IDO is very important at this particular point to have brought us together so that we're able to move forward.
Thank you so much, Your Royal Highness. In that spirit, Your Royal Highness, you generously encourage and recognize the small contribution IDO is making in the sense of reconnecting Africa's own blood, wherever the drop of that blood may be. At the same time, Your Royal Majesty, IDO is actually a very culturally based NGO. We try to encourage Africans on the continent to try and preserve and resurrect our traditional values, language, philosophy, Ubuntu in particular, and regain the sense we had before people from elsewhere came on the continent and disrupted the traditional system of values. It's not an easy job, Your Royal Highness, and we wonder whether you could support IDO's call for African people to be proud of who we are. That we have melanin is not a curse. That we don't speak necessarily English or French, but we can speak our own languages we spoke before aliens came is not a sign of backwardness or primitivity. We beg you to kindly give a word of encouragement in this direction. We want to revive Africa's positive traditional values. Kindly give a word of encouragement in this direction, Your Majesty.
Remember, we, the people of the continent, the people of color, we are the people that God chose us as the first people that were created on earth. God gave us something that is called melanin. Melanin, it is designed like a pineal gland. Melanin makes you to connect with the cosmos. It makes you to connect with the waters. It makes you to connect with God. The second thing that God gave us, He gave us permission to create replica of heaven. The third thing that God gave us as the people of this continent, He gave us the best natural mineral resources. You can't find them in another continent. He knew when He gave us all these things, that's why He was giving them. The fifth thing that God gave us, He gave us something that is called Angoni. Angoni simply means people who do not dwell into sin. People who are clean spiritually. He gave us that name as a nation. He says, you are the Angoni people, people who do not dwell into sin. You are going to be the custodian of the minerals, of the cultures and the traditions and customs of the world. So this is what we need to pride ourselves, because we are the first people that connected spiritually with God. Today we talk of religions. It emanates from us. When you talk about Kemet, you talk about us. When you talk about education, we are the first people to be educated on earth by God. We are the first inventors of science. We invented everything. If you can go to North America, in the Americas, you know that we are the inventors. But those who are cursed, they stole everything and they patterned it into their names. If you go to history, you see the very same computer that we are using today. It was invented by a person of color, like me and you. So God blessed us with this. We need not to shy away and not to be proud, because we are the chosen nation. Not the Caucasians that are telling you today that are the chosen nation who are living in Israel. Israel, it is our motherland. It belongs to us. We need to reclaim our birthright. We need to work together and reclaim spirituality, because there's nothing we can do and nothing we can achieve if we do not tap into spirituality, because spirituality makes you to tap into divinity. In divinity, it molds you. It builds it makes a clean person. Out of that, a culture, it is created, it is built out of you, a traditions and customs. Out of that, a nation that is divine comes out. And that nation, it is us. The problem that happened with us in the past, we have lost the connection. So we need to reclaim that connection. We need to reclaim our connection with the Creator, our Father. So it's very important. Do not see yourself as the cursed person because of your color. No, you are the chosen one. And pride yourself. Dance, sing, do everything, because you were the chosen one. If you go back to the history, you see that Jesus, the same Jesus who lived in Abyssinia, in Ethiopia, was the same color like me and you. You go to Moses, same color like me and you, who lived where? Here in Egypt. Before pharaohs lived in Egypt, it was us who created a civilization. If you go to Mali, you see that we created the educational civilization. We educated the whole world. Medicine, it was taught by us. We found them in Europe. They were living like animals. We taught them how to live like a civilized person. So why today do you cast yourself as a human being, as a chosen one? Bayete.
Bayete, Your Royal Majesty. In this vein, Your Royal Majesty, our thoughts fly to Africa's earlier modern rulers. We remember our brother, late Kwame Nkrumah, calling for Africans to be one person. His dream was an Africa that was united. And the word dream, Your Royal Majesty, is echoed by a younger one, Dr. Martin Luther King, who left this world with the words, "He has a dream." Your Royal Majesty, you have the platform of African kings as your own family, kindly appeal to them to think of Africa as one, so that in addition to this journey of reconciliation and atonement we are calling, Africa lives in harmony as one, so that some of the difficulties we have today, which arise from not accepting each other, xenophobia and divisionism, disappears. Kindly do appeal to your brothers and sisters, the queens and kings of Africa, to come into this union as we approach this journey of atonement. Your Royal Majesty.
Bayete.
Bayete.
I would appeal to them, my brothers and sisters, in the kingdoms and also in the chiefdoms, to first embark on a spiritual journey. Because for us tonight, we are not connected in the spiritual world. The journey begins with the first step. And the first step, it has to do with spirituality. If we all agree that we need to connect spiritually with the Creator, and when we're connected in a divine world, we won't be fighting against each other. We won't be killing each other. We won't be jealous against each other. Why? Because we will be living in the divine world. Divine world. It is a world where you live in what we would refer as a clean spirit. So the continent needs to tap into the divine world. Today, our brothers and sisters are killing each other because they are not living a righteous life. They are not living a spiritual divine life. Today, we hate each other because we don't know that we were the chosen people. But if we go back to the basics and know ourselves and tap in the spiritual world, the spiritual world will then mold us, will make us to connect to each other culturally, traditionally, and customary wise into building a nation. The reason Martin Luther King tried, the reason why we did not connect, because we never connected spiritually. If all of us could understand divinity, if all of us could understand spirituality, let me tell you, we will be able to break borders spiritual wise. All of us would connect to say we are interrelated, we are relatives as the people of the continent, and including the diaspora. Today, we, the people of color, we hate each other because why? We have adopted religions that are not divine. Ours, it is not about religion. People of color, I'm calling upon you. Yours, it is not about religious denominations. You are living above religions. You have to live above religions. Because today we are fighting each other today. Because I would say, I am a Christian. I am a Muslim. I am a Buddhist, whatever that you can call it. But we need to live above all these religious denominations so that we become one spiritually, then we connect with God, and then we will be able to learn to love each other. Bayete.
Bayete, Your Royal Majesty, I will, in the last part of our conversation, point out that as we speak today, the African Union 2 years ago signed the common trade agreements of all the continent as you call for unity on the continent. The United Nations organization declared a decade of African people of African descent in 2015, and now we're trying to follow the Sustainable Development Goals program. IDO includes in all its objectives uplifting the conditions of communities from poverty, from ignorance, and from their historical moral decadence. Your Royal Highness, Your Royal Majesty, this is a critical call for a change of attitudes in Africa, and this should be respected the world over if we listen to your call for a spiritual dimension in our lives, not denominationally, but spiritually. If I follow Your Royal Majesty's kind advice, permit me, Your Royal Majesty, to express our gratitude as IDO, our gratitude as Africa's present generation on the continent and in the diaspora. It is almost a privilege no one can easily speak of having a living African traditionalist, a spiritual person of your caliber, spending time and reaching out to all the children of this continent, echoing their ancestral wisdom that we need to reconnect, go back to what we were. But Your Royal Majesty, this is only the beginning of the journey. We have taken only the first step. Now, may I kindly request that you say goodbye and we shall listen to the last hymn as we close this special hearing from Your kind Majesty. Baete.
Bayete. Before I say goodbye, I'd like to profoundly re-apologize to our people in the diaspora. I want to make these profound apologies on behalf of my forefathers who disengaged spiritually, who was able to connive with the collaborators who were cast to sell our people into the diaspora, into slavery. I want to say today, on behalf of my forefathers, on behalf of the kings, chiefs, I am very sorry. I really apologize from the deep end of my heart for whatever happened. If God permits, if the Creator permits me to arrive at your shores in the diaspora, please allow me to do the proper ceremony of cleansing the wrong things that were done by my forefathers. And I would like to thank you again for allowing me to render this apology to you, the children of my forefathers. I am sorry. I am sorry. I am sorry. Sorry for all the wrong things that happened to you. Today you have disconnected with your motherland because of people who were selfish, who sold you because they wanted necklaces, they wanted mirrors. Little did they understood that wherever they were ruling underneath, God has entrusted them with the best natural mineral resources in the world. I am saying sorry again. Sorry. And again, thank you for allowing me to speak to you in this particular moment. please do not forget that we need to embark on the journey of spirituality. If we tap into spirituality, we will be able to tap into the divine world. In the divine world, we will be able to graduate into a level where we connect with the Creator. And a culture, a tradition, a custom would be created. And out of that would have a nation that is divine. A nation that loves each other. A nation that loves one another. A nation that is able to prosper. Because without divinity, without spirituality, nothing will come between us. I would like to thank you again, Your Excellency Ambassador, for affording me this opportunity. Thank you, and I would like to thank IDO for giving me all this opportunity to be able to speak to our people in the continent. And I'm calling upon all the kings and the chiefs, those who refer themselves based on religious denominations, to decamp from all those religious denominations and live above religions and come together and unite so that we are able to receive our people who are in the diaspora, so that we are able to take over those countries in the diaspora. We connect, we trade, and we work together as the people of the world and as the people who were chosen by the Creator. Thank you. Thank you. Bayete.
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 Lesipasi mnyama ngokhwayanga. Bayete mpembelise. Bayete. Bayete khibi. Bayete lubelo. Bayete sitoma senkomo. Bayete forogeja. Bayete muhu. Bayete mpempe. Bayete sikolosa. Esimefamo bisape kumtesaka samchamena. Bayete makhulu. Bayete wana wasembo. Bayete mhlobo kanonkala. Uhlabukhangela Bhungane. Uhlabukhangela makhulu. Bayete. Bayete mthimkhulu. Bayete Khatebe. Bayete Bhutwa. Bayete Hlomo. Bayete. 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 Bayete Bhungane. Bayete makhulu. Bayete sothondose. Bayete sitoma senkomo. Bayete. Bayete. Bayete.
Advertise your business on Aido Roots of Africa program by sponsoring a slot on TV or radio. If you wish to support Roots of Africa content creation, you may donate through the link below or contact marketing at info@aidonetwork.org.